that's a good opportunity to get into what the new uniforms are.
That is a fantastic segue, Kim. Thank you for that. So we will go, yeah, we will talk about the Black Panther update, but we're going to go ahead and actually move on to our first, reintroducing the new updated character, which actually is Quasar.
All right.
Right,
nice entrance.
Yep, little graceful there. So a little tidbit regarding this. So a lot of her skills are actually the same. However, there have been some enhancement to her skills, and of course, there is an obvious new skill that has been added there as well. So go ahead and start. This is her basic attack. So again, a lot of her attacks are actually now energy based. We are going to start with our first skill, which is the energy kick. So go ahead and go over here, see it from this angle. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start from this angle, so you actually, of course, see when she does her attack, the attacks continue going. Penetrating through, and this has additional stun damage, and of course it does energy damage as well.
Nice.
Moving on to skill 2, again, that's not a new skill, however the new little effect is that it actually removes your enemy's buffs. And again, of course we all love our stun. Skill number 3 is the quantum portal. Yes, added effects for this is that it actually penetrates your enemy's defense while also granting you a little bit of HP recovery.
Nice, like that.
All right, we're going to check out skill 4, which is the Big Bang. Take a look at that again. I'm actually going to correct myself. So skill 4 actually for the Big Bang actually is the skill that actually penetrates your enemy's defense while granting HP recovery. We're going to go back to show skill 3, which is the quantum portal. Actually grants causes paralysis while also decreasing your enemy's defense. So a little correction there. I'm actually going to go ahead and move on to these guys over here for her
Well,
fifth
it is a
skill.
good time to point out actually something we forgot to say earlier, which is this is not the final build. And some numbers may change from between now and between you get to have it in your hands.
That's right. So we're going to go ahead and restart again for her 5th skill, which is the Pouring Light. So here, added effects, foes are silenced, while also true damage is also being accumulated, while also granting you brief, and I believe we currently have invincibility. One more time, let's see it. As you can see in that initial attack, enemies are actually silenced. And of course, we're going to go ahead and move on to the newly added skill, which is her Awakening skill, which is the Quantum Impact.
Nice. Here comes some friends.
Of course, she calls on Spectrum and America Chavez for help, and she does additional things such as removing buffs, and also removing any enemy debuffs, while also increasing your overall skill stats. Take a look at that skill one more time.
Wow, blink and you'll miss it. The friend entry.
She flies right back in. Yep, there's many more skills to be added in that will be in that skill as well. So definitely be sure to take a look at that when the build goes live. So all right, so we have Captain Marvel here in her last Avenger uniform. So as I said before, she actually has 3 new skills that come with this uniform. Let's go ahead and take a look. This is skill number 1, and this is the this is the Photon Cannon Burn. Let's take a look at that again. So as you can see, she does her signature pose there. Foes are actually silenced. Not only that, they're actually silenced. Also, it increases her overall. Notes right here aren't exactly. Actually, like I said, a lot of these notes we actually see towards the end. So a lot of these notes are actually updated as we go. So sorry about that. So once again, her Photon Cannon Burn actually, again, we do see silence. It also does burn damage, while also causing enemies to have an 80% chance to miss their attacks. So we've seen enough for the first skill. Let's move on to skill number 2. Skill number 2 is the last Avenger Smash. That was a terrible angle. Let's go ahead and see it from this angle right here. I like that you actually see her emblem there.
That part was cool.
So of course, the attack paralyzes foes while granting 20% buff for your all attack. Nice. Moving on to skill 3. Skill 3 isn't a new skill. This is the Ace Bomber. However, an additional effect is that it actually incapacitates foes and causes a decrease in defense attack. It decreases your enemy's defense. Of course, the skill can be seen from her previous uniforms. Moving on to skill number 5. Skill number 4. Again, not a new attack. This is the Photon Combo. And added effects is it incapacitates foes, also causing fracture, which decreases your enemy's attack. Take a look at it one more time. Everything just looks, even though it's not a new skill, it still looks cool just wearing that uniform alone. I can move on to these guys over here. This is the 5th skill. This is a new skill. This is the Photon. I'm sorry, not even Photon. The Ultimate Photon Blast. Let's take a look.
Nice.
It's a massive attack. Take a look at it again. So again, this is a burning attack which incapacitates foes while increasing your all attack and defense by 30%. So my ultimate skill is ready. So for her teeth, we're going to take a look at it. So again, this isn't necessarily a new skill, but we just received word from our developers that actually the ultimate skill actually will be enhanced while wearing this uniform. We don't have the exact stats for this, for exactly how it will be improved. Just know that while wearing this uniform, this attack will be enhanced. So you can look forward to that when the patch notes go live. America Chavez.
That's right.
So America Chavez, again, similar to Quasar, she doesn't have too many new skills, aside from just one additional skill, which we'll show, but a lot of her skills have actually been enhanced. And of course, she is a combat superhero. Exciting. Let's take a look. So again, not all these skills are necessarily new, but they have some added effects. Starting with skill number 1, we have Stars and Stripes, which has an added stun effect, because what's a skill without having stun?
The stars went around their heads, which is very on point for her.
So what I'm currently doing now is skill number 2, which is a smash kick. Again, stun, can't go wrong. Move on to these guys over here for skill number 3, which is the shoulder charge. Again, stun, of course, been there, done that, but this added skill actually can incapacitate foes while also still granting damage immunity. This is skill number 4, which is the dimension drop. It's a cool looking skill, so we're going to do it again. So as you can see here, not only does it cause silence, it also decreases your enemy's defense, while also granting you HP recovery, and if that wasn't enough, it gives you a plus 50% buff for your all attack. This is skill number 5, a pretty cool looking skill. This is the Star Shower. Take a look at that one more time. Let's do these guys over here. She dashes in, back and forth, and you see here it actually penetrates your enemy's defense while adding an overall buff to your overall stats, such as your attack, defense, and speed. Now again, these are all attacks you guys seen before, so we're going to go ahead and show her ultimate awakening skill.
Boom.
All right, take a look at it one more time. All right, so here you can see, of course, Spectrum and Quasar kind of join in and help provide continual shock damage, while also increasing your overall critical stats in addition to your attack and defense buffs, and also so many more. So you guys can look forward to that. So actually, going to go ahead and move on to the next character, which is Black Panther.
Yeah.
All right, we're good to go. Wakanda forever, everybody. Let's move on.
Yes, forever.
All right, this is skill number 1. Take a look at it again. All right, again, these are all new skills. So skill number 1 is referred to as the Beast Claw. It's an attack that causes stun. Again, you know, we've already seen stun, but of course it causes bleeding as well. Moving on to skill number 2.
Slow-mo.
Move on to this group here. This is the Stealth Slash. Make sure I have these notes correct. This attack, again, not only does it stun foes, but of course, again, leaves them to bleed. She dashes back and forth, getting a large group of enemies. And use the next skill over here. Alright, skill 3. We have the Panther Pursuit. Not only does this skill actually will guard against several hits made by the enemy while also accumulating true damage. Let's take a look at this again. This attack also causes enemies to be pushed back pretty far. I'm going to get these guys over here and make sure they're not feeling lonely. Moving on to skill 4, which is the Shadow Dance Raid.
Whoa.
Let's try that one more time just to see. So you can see he attacks, disappears, reappears to and fro, and he does his attack. One more time.
Well, where is he? He's everywhere. That's the answer.
So overall, this attack just simply not only does do a good amount of damage, but also increases your overall attack and defense by 40%. Right, moving on to skill number 5. Devastating.
Whoa.
This is skill 5, which is the Noble Judgment. This attack also increases your attack and defense by 30% while granting you damage immunity. One more time.
Nice.
All right, we're going to TPU as well. So the TPU skill animation, actually, again, similar to Captain Marvel, it has it is still the same, but however, it has a tiny little enhanced effect. We don't have too much details on that just yet, so I look forward to it in the actual patch notes. Character, and that is the update for Blue Marvel.
All right.
So this is Blue Marvel in his classic uniform, given 3 new skills, and of course is a universal superhero.
Love a good entrance.
All right, moving on. So skill number 1 is Marvel Explosion. So again, those of you who are fans of Blue Marvel know this isn't a new skill. It just has a couple added effects, such as being able to paralyze. So maybe just one effect. This poor enemy's had nothing. We're going to go ahead and move over here.
I love that glide.
Moving on to skill number 2. Skill number 2 is the Slashing Shockwave, which causes everyone's favorite, stun.
Yeah, stunning.
Right. Skill number 3, again, this is a new skill. This is the Galaxy Explosion. Let's take a look. Try it again. Of course, it hits the ground, Causes a shockwave, causing enemies to be stunned and silenced. Also grouping enemies together as well. And of course, added effects is actually, so yeah, a couple additional notes that the developers just recently sent to us. So not only does this attack actually provide, I use the word actually a lot, this attack will provide HP recovery, while also adds a new mockery effect, which actually removes debuffs.
Actually, you do.
Actually, yes.
But that's okay. Actually, it's actual.
Moving on to skill number 4. Skill number 4 is the Blue Annihilation. So this attack will look familiar. With one added, this attack has one added change. So the animation is similar to the previous attack, which is the Magnificent Beam. However, players can actually move around using the V-pad here. So you can do your attack and move around at the same time. Very useful. Right, and the added effects as well. Of course, it's actually, so one fun, I'm going to start making a counter every time I use that word. So for this attack will actually provide brief invincibility, while also granting you 100% buff to your next attack. Moving on to skill number 5.
Ooh.
Let's put this in a situation where a group can be involved.
Nice.
This is, again, not a new skill. This is the Antimatter Burst, but it can now penetrate, it can now incapacitate foes, or basically remove an enemy buff, while providing an all attack of increase of 40% and increasing your overall defense by 35%. Now, again, many of you have seen this skill, so we're going to go ahead and move on and show you the skill you've been waiting for, which is the T3. Nice. This is the Cosmic Break. The Cosmic Break ignores 10% of the enemy's target defense. Not only that, of your target's defense, while your dodge rate actually increases to 100%, and the next attack is increased by 100%.
Very good.
So that does it for Blue Marvel. So now we're going to move on to our new character segment, where we introduce a new character. And that new character is one many players have been waiting for a long time, especially ever since WandaVision, and that is Monica Rambeau herself, Spectrum. Nice. Fantastic dynamic entrance there. So this is how her basic attacks look. Gives it like a 1-2 punch and a blast. Nice. Let's check out skill 1. So again, these are all energy-based attacks. Take a look at it again because it goes pretty fast. See, I love my personal favorite thing about this is that all her attacks are light-based. So this is the Spectrum Dash. This is a stun attack which can actually cause enemies to miss 70% of their next attack. Pretty sweet.
I love how bright these attacks are.
This is skill number 2. We'll visit these guys here. Nice. This is the Energy Blast, which causes actually shock damage, while again causing enemies to miss 70% of their next attack. Move on over here for skill number 3.
Ooh.
Let's warm up again. This is the Crossbuster. So you're going to use this attack to increase your overall HP while gaining invincibility and accumulating true damage.
Wow.
Moving on for skill number 4, which is the Electric Discharge. So of course, as the name implies, with the Electric Discharge attack, you're going to cause shock damage. In addition to that, your foes will be incapacitated, while actually lowering your enemy's defense.
Nice.
We're going to move on to skill number 5, which is the Solar Shockwave. That's actually a pretty massive attack, actually. Once again, this is the Solar Shockwave. This is a paralyzing attack, which will cause enemies to miss a percentage. It hasn't been clear what, but actually cause enemies to miss a percentage of their next attack. This attack can also be used to penetrate your enemy's defense, and also cause the enemies to separate a bit more as well. Nice. So it's a nice little helpful attack to actually send enemies further back. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the skill everyone wants to see, which is our 6th Awakening skill. America Chavez comes in and helps out.
Nice.
This
Gotta help your teammate.
The ultimate finisher for that. And that does it for the new characters.
Very good.
And there you go. Those are our updated characters and our new character.
Yes. So thank you all for joining us here today. Thank you for joining us for the Ultimates mid-month update featuring an awesome team of very high-level characters, very exciting characters. Please go get that coupon code. Get that in as soon as you can. I cannot stress that enough. The window will close. Please go do that. But thank you all for joining today and giving us your awesome responses to our questions that we shared with the chat. Thank you all so much, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Agents. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Here we go.